I am going to have a do-over here of the planting of this Hypertufa pot with the Pilea Glauca. I had some problems with my earlier video that I did in the actual planting process, so I just had to do a do-over. So join me for the explanation of what I did, not a visual of actually doing it, which is what I like to provide. Okay, here is my setup take two. As I explained, I had already done this video but had to redo because for whatever reason, probably my inexperience in editing, I trashed that video, so I've got to start over. I have already transplanted and repotted my Pilea Glauca, and so I'm just going to try to do the best I can with showing you exactly what I've done. I had this plant planted here. It's a nice cascading type plant. It was very tiny when I stuck it in each of these little pots. And this, of course, is not a regular plant pot. I think it's a utensil holder of some kind that I picked up at the store. But I planted it in here. But it was hard to water because putting water inside this hole, it made it want to drain out this hole instead of going down. So after struggling with that, I decided to try and put it in Hypertufa. Now, I had wanted to put it in Hypertufa for the past few years, and I want to put it outside in the summer. So I thought what I'd do is get it all potted up and ready, because next month will be March and it'll start warming up. Probably can't really set plants out all the time until April or May, but I can at least put them out through the warmer parts of the day. Sorry about the furnace noise. I'm down here in the basement, of course, where my garden shop is, next to the furnace. But this particular plant takes a lot of bright light and a lot of sunlight, but not directly in the sun. It would probably sunburn. And it likes moisture, but it doesn't like to be wet at all. So I thought it would be perfect for a Hypertufa on a table of specific plants that I want to mist with a garden hose all day. I really like to do that. That's relaxing and comforting for me. So I wanted to put this on a special table where I can just kind of mist it slightly. Now, this particular bowl that you see here, I had made that at the end of last summer and colored that this orangey color with iron sulfate, ferrous sulfate. So that's why it has that tint to it. And I thought it went well with this particular plant since it does have the red stems. This is also the name of this plant, other than the Pilea Glauca, is red stem baby's tears. It is also called silver sparkles, and because that is due to the configuration of the plants, it does sometimes look a little silvery with little dots of, I don't know, stardust in them. And I saw also the name of artillery plant, but I don't know where that comes from. I don't know any reason for that. But I am planning to put this out on the deck. Now, there are long tendrils, since this is cascading. They do grow that way. Now, this has been growing under lights, so it might not be quite enough light that it needed. And so I did snip off, and some of these fell off when we were transplanting. And I am rooting these. I don't know if that's going to show through, but it is under see-through glass, and I can just look through and see when the roots start to develop. I've got a darker one here, and in silhouette I can see when it's starting roots. I'm going to plant a few more, maybe in some kind of group arrangements, but I do plan to snip off some more, I brought a little tiny dish of water so that I can show you how easy it is just to snip off a piece. Like for instance, this long cascading piece. And if you garden at all, you'll know how that works, because you just snip off the piece, strip off those bottom leaves, and put it in the water. Let's see. Okay. I'm just going to put it down in the water like that. And I can have a lot of plants that'll grow from these little sprigs that I can put in water. And then this, in turn, will make the others branch. So that's what I'll be doing to get some additional. Now, this particular plant, in my experience, when you pull off the leaves and everything to stick into the water, you don't have to be real particular about the leaves not being underwater, because this plant just sprouts underwater. I'll just show you how I'll have quite a bit more plants. Okay. But now this was the original planter, as I told you, and I had a little difficulty, not too bad, getting my plant out of here, but I just used a tiny shovel to stick down in there, and they came out real nicely. So they are clustered. I just took each of the 4 clusters and planted them around. So I think we're going to have this fill in nicely. Some of these slips, that root, I may just kind of tuck them in here and there, because I would like to see a full lush plant cascading over to give me a really huge growth here. There's a little bit more. I'll put that in that water. But I'm just going to go around, kind of clean that up. I'll keep this under the lights over there so that I can keep it for the next, what, 6 weeks or so. And then perhaps in the days I could roll it out. I have a couple of carts over there that are wheeled, so that I could wheel it out in the warm weather, wheel it back in the cold nights, if I remember. Hopefully I'll remember. So I think that's everything I want to cover. I do have my trusty other camera. This is an old phone camera. It is what is this one? A Samsung. I just think it has a wonderful camera on it. It's not my phone I use there. My phone's over there. But it had the best camera. Don't know how you feel about cell phone cameras. I like this one. I like this one a whole lot. So I just keep it on hand and use it as a camera. It's not active as a phone any longer, but I use it as a camera. And I'll get some close-ups to show you what I'm talking about. But thanks for joining me today, and I hope you'll come back for some more videos. I like to replant and am certainly planning my future garden for outside in the summertime. Well, thanks for joining me. See you next video.